H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, visit us at h2kinfosys.com.
Okay. So tell me the difference between two scenarios which I'm going to write. Okay. So I need differences. Between these two. You have a team of 60 members and you are unable to manage it, and now I'm going to going to hire another manager to help you. Okay, this is one case. And the second case is you have a team of 60 members and you are able to manage this team. Able to manage the team and now hired another manager so that he can work in case you are on leave. Okay, so the first case is I have a team of 60 members and my manager is not able to handle all these 60 members. And the second case is I have a team of 60 members and my manager is able to manage all the 60 members, but whenever he is on a leave or something, he needs a backup of another manager such that he can take care of him. So what's the difference between these two? Come on guys, it's a straightforward question. What's the difference between these two? Hello? Hello, are you able to hear me? Hello? Okay, fine. So, okay, if you're not answering, I will think like you're not able to hear me. Okay, so I need answers. So what's the difference? First case is you are not able to handle. No, I'm asking the difference between the two cases that I had given. That's it. I mean, just the meaning of the two differences. That's it. Right? The first case is I'm not able to handle my work and I'm trying to get someone to help me. And the second case is Nice, good joke. Right. Rahul is saying first case managers will not be able to go on vacation. True. So the right, you are correct. Here manager is mandatory and of course, okay, to stay. He cannot go for vacation. Exactly. I will use this also in my explanation. I'm able to manage it, but I need a backup manager, right? So the second one is like much more like a backup context, and the first one is not able to handle context, a failure context, right? That's what federation high level availability is about. Federation to help you out, and high availability is giving a backup name node. Guys, don't confuse. This is not a secondary name node. It is a backup of name node itself. So we are going to have one more name node. That's what the difference is. It's not a secondary name node. Okay, federation. So let's start talking about this. In Hadoop 1.0, the problem is, as per the analysis or statistics that was done on it, the maximum number of slaves that a name node can manage is 4040 nodes. That's it. But when it comes to Hadoop 0. Sorry, Hadoop 2.0, that's what the difference is. In 2.0, my name node is more powerful that it can manage till 10,000 nodes. In the sense, my name node capacity is such a big one such that it is able to handle the metadata of 10,000 machines. So federation is nothing but adding one more name node. So let me draw a diagram for you. Here I'm going to have two name nodes, as I told you. And let's imagine that this is my data node, this is my data node, and this is my data node. Name node, data node, data node. Okay. So what happens here is each name node will talk with all the data nodes. This guy will talk to all the three data nodes, and this guy will talk to all the three data nodes. So both the guys will contain the metadata of all the data nodes. So maybe here I would give the name for my first name node as some sales or something like that. Okay, not particularly this. So if at all I want to browse any file on this guy, it has to start with sales, and this guy would be given another name as marketing, for example. So whatever the file I want to access on this guy, it would be start with marketing. So these two name nodes each name node will have a entire list of data nodes to store the data. So with multiple name nodes, you can get to handle 10,000 nodes. That's it. So are you clear with this? So it's just nothing but bringing in a new manager to help manage your team. That's it. You may think that doesn't this going to impact the performance of the data nodes, because multiple name nodes are going to assign work for the same data nodes. So for example, if you take the data node 1, this data node 1 may get orders from both. How this works if both name nodes are talking. That's what I'm going to explain you, Rahul. Okay, you may think like multiple sorry, yeah, okay, multiple name nodes are going to give inputs to your single data node. So suppose this data node, okay, let it be give like this data node 1 is going to get orders from sales name node and marketing data node. So the logic behind this is data nodes are just the storage servers, and it is used only to store the data. It doesn't mind from where it is going to get. It is just a blind uh, it is just a blind machine which is used to store the data, and whenever any task tracker from any data node comes and asks you for that data, it will just give you that data. It doesn't, I mean, all the tasks that were going to run on your data nodes are isolated. In the sense, it don't know what happening outside the world. That's it. And that is the reason, and while processing the job tracker or task tracker lookups for the required data for processing, and it's kind of I mean, it's kind of not bothering thing, or maybe immaterial thing what other data node is going to store, or how the other data nodes are going to access this. It is just there is one more master for this guy where he is going to get the data. That's it. One more source, or maybe if you take it like files, it is like this data node is getting data from two input files rather than one input file. That's it. And submitting the jobs for both sales and marketing is just like my job tracker is receiving two programs simultaneously. That's it. It might be from any name node. It doesn't matter. It is like just how many programs that were running simultaneously, right? Submitting jobs for both sales and marketing is just like my job tracker is getting two programs at the same time. That's it. The the number of slaves and number of slots remain the same. That's it. So for example, I have 8 processor machines, and then how many tasks that I can perform. If this is the case, if you do you any one of you remember, it is there in our cluster maintenance PPT. We had had discussed like how the machines should look like, what should be the best practices for having a machine, how many tasks that are going to run on a machine, right? So how many tasks we can run parallelly? Okay, let me tell you. It's just 8 into 1.5 tasks equal to something 8 into 1.5. Okay, it is 12. So it is just 12 tasks that it can run parallelly, right? So 12 tasks may be running on a 10,000 node cluster, means it has totally 1 lakh 20,000 slots available to take the jobs. It is like an overall number of slots that were going to be available. That's it. It's not like how many name nodes are going to submit it or how it's going to be stored. So totally I have 1,20,000 slots, sir. That is what my data node says. Okay, job tracker will say fine. Uh, so if any job comes to either name node, it's like fixed 1,20,000 slots, and it's not going to affect the performance or computation capacity of my cluster. The job tracker will say, okay, machine 1, 2, 3 and 4 run on in your slots. You don't mind that from which data node, or I mean from which name node you are going to get the machine. Just go and get the data and run it. That's it. Fine. All good. So shall I move to the next one? High availability. Shall I move? Okay, good. So high availability is nothing like, but I'm having a backup manager, right? Okay, so these are my data nodes. Four. Okay, so these are my data nodes, and here my name nodes will be like, one is active name node and another one is passive name node. So only one guy is going to act at a single point of time. Okay, so here also each data node is capable of talking with both my name nodes. It has access to talk with both the data nodes, and definitely it's going to talk with both the data nodes also. But the only point is these both data nodes write their metadata at a single SharePoint location, and that location is called as journal. So this is an area or maybe shared location you can think of where my both active name nodes and passive name nodes are going to store the data. Okay, at one single point of time, active node active name node will write the data and passive name node just reads whatever the active name node data is writing, and whenever the active name node at a single point of time. You're not able to hear my voice? Is it the same with everyone? Guys, are you able to hear my voice? Hello? Guys, are you not able to hear my voice? Yeah, of course I will repeat it, but I just wanted to confirm like whether you are not able to hear me. Hello? It's clear now. Okay. So, okay. So, you want to repeat me the high availability, Nisha? Is that what you are requesting? Okay. So, high availability is nothing but more availability. The name itself will say you that the name node, whenever it goes down, some other name node will come up to hold your cluster. If name node goes down, actually what should happen is your cluster should go down, right? But that's not the case with high availability. It was introduced from Hadoop 2.0 version, and what it says is whenever your managing capacity of one of your name node goes down, another name node is going to come up, which will act or which will save your cluster. So suppose I'm having 4 data nodes on my cluster, and for each of the cluster there will be 2 name nodes. One is active name node and another one is passive name nodes. It's not like both machines are going to work simultaneously. Whenever if one single machine goes down, the second machine will come into picture. So as of now, just imagine that it is as usual like my regular HDFS cluster, and my active name node is talking with my all the data nodes and it is storing all the data. At one moment, if my name node goes down, this passive name node will start working. So definitely whenever a name node is storing some information, it has to store the metadata, right? So somewhere on its RAM or maybe somewhere at any other location. So rather than storing it independently, here what it does is both my active name node and passive name nodes will maintain a shared location called as journal. So at this location, both all the metadatas of both the name nodes will be stored, and if at all at any point of time my active name node goes down, my passive name node will writes all the data to this metadata information, that is general, and my active name node just updates this data. That's it. The writing functionality is taken care by my passive name node, and just my active name node will update its metadata information, right? And vice versa whenever my passive name node goes down. So this mm, this movement mm, or else this failover movement from active to passive can be automatic or manual. So the admin guy is there for us to handle this functionality. So he can set up it to have this passive name node come up into picture automatically, or maybe he can set it up manually also. This passive name node will come into picture. Remember that only when active name node goes down. That's it. So there is another ecosystem. You can call it as ecosystem as well. There is a Zookeeper. The functionality of Zookeeper is just coordination. When we have secondary name node, why do we have passive name node? See, secondary name node is like whenever the name node metadata goes down. It's not the case with name node metadata or name node capacity goes down. Only if name node goes down, secondary name node will come up. But if name node capacity goes down, passive name node will come into picture. Cannot hear me. Why? What happened? Guys, it's not the is it the case with everyone? It seems that my connection is very good. Oh, come on, man. Okay. Okay, okay, no issues. Here it is storing the metadata. I mean, the sharing of metadata happens, but that's not the case with my name node and secondary name node, right? The secondary name node will keep the backup of my name node. That's it. And whenever my name node goes down, automatically my secondary name node will not come into picture stating that I'm going to act as a name node, right? My admin has to set up a new machine and he has to copy all the metadata that was stored into my secondary name node into that new machine and start up the cluster. But here that's not the case. The Zookeeper component here ensures that if a name node fails, the failed name node is not allowed to write data to the metadata storage, the shared metadata storage. So that's what it talks about. So to make you much more clearer, I'm going to ask you one question. And maybe you can think it as a certification question as well, okay? We have a 3-node federated cluster and each name node is highly available also. So it has both the features. It has a federated cluster and it is high availability as well. What is the total number of master nodes present in my cluster? question. So anyone can think about it. So it is 3 nodes federated and each is highly available also, right? Perfect. It is 6 answer. So team is very huge and there are team managers, 3 managers, and each manager has a backup manager as well. That's what the federation and high availability talks about. Good, Rahul. So, okay. Okay, so that's what high availability talks about. So coming to the last topic of today's session, it is yarn, which is nothing but yet another resource manager. So many new topics for today, right? It's not going to dump, I'm not going to dump you, right? You are fine to take some more information, or do you want me to stop it for today? Shall I go ahead with this topic for today? Cool. In Hadoop 1.0, there is a tight relationship between excuse me, HDFS and MapReduce, right? So we are saying that if I say that I had installed Hadoop on my cluster, that means both HDFS and MapReduce is going to be installed on my cluster, right? So there is a tight coupling or maybe some good relationship between HDFS and MapReduce. So it's like whenever HDFS is available, it is mandatory that MapReduce should also be there. Or whenever or wherever the MapReduce is available, there should be some database to process it, right? So there is some good relationship between these both two guys. Or maybe even you write programs in Pick and Hive also, internally it has to convert these programs to MapReduce such that my cluster is able to understand their language. So cluster is a guy who can understand only MapReduce. There is nothing in this mind rather than MapReduce. That's what my framework situation is like. My framework is not able to understand any other new things. He's a dumb guy and he is not able to understand new languages. So that's the reason we will convert Pig and Hive also internally to MapReduce, and this cluster is able to understand, okay, I should get a jar file consists of driver, mapper and reducer. That's it. Or else I'm not able to understand your program. That's it. Okay, but that's not the case with Hadoop 2.0. He's some more intelligent guy. Okay, here previously MR was the only framework allowed, but now MapReduce is just one of the framework. That's it. We can have many other frameworks as well introduced to my cluster. So that's what the advantage of the new ARM system. Okay, the new framework the new framework can be of any other kind of frameworks, which is a distributed framework which can utilize my Hadoop. So let's go and talk about this. I have a distributed file system, which is very big one, right? And on top of it, a processing system is sitting here. And MapReduce. So if you remember our ecosystem diagram, this is how it was given, right? At the bottom layer you will have HDFS, and on top of it you will have MapReduce, Hive, Pig, and so on, right? But here in my YARN system, along with the MapReduce framework, there will be other frameworks as well. So this is another framework called as massive parallel processing, which is called as MPP. So it is used, this framework is used for huge processing, which is going to use my HDFS only, and this sits on my cluster itself. So if at all I want to use the MapReduce framework to processing, I can have the combination of MR and HDFS. No, I don't want to write a MapReduce program. I will write something in some other model. Then MPP is another model where I can write my program, and the coupling happens between MPP and HDFS. And in the same way, again, I have one more framework called as Apache Giraffe. Okay, this is again another framework which is used for graph processing. Which is used for graph processing. So in Hadoop 1.0, Hadoop equal to HDFS plus MapReduce. Okay, I will write it. In 1.0, Hadoop means HDFS plus MapReduce. In 2.0, Hadoop is HDFS plus any distributed processing framework, including my MapReduce. So in 1.0, MapReduce is the only framework that I can use, and in 2.0, MapReduce is one of the framework that I can use. That's what the difference happens in YARN. Okay, shall I go ahead? Fine. So if you talk about 1.0, the situation will be like there is one intelligent guy called as my job tracker, and this guy is going to talk with all my task trackers, right? He can talk with my first task tracker, second task tracker, and third task tracker. So job tracker is much more like a technical manager who knows about MapReduce in and outs of my whole logic and would accept assignments on only MapReduce functionalities, right? He's a very intelligent guy, of course. He knows how to give the task to each of the task trackers, how to distribute and how to share the jobs between all these task trackers, etc., etc. But the only disadvantage with this guy is he can do the processing only with MapReduce. That's it. But when I come to 2.0, here, okay, here now diagram will look a bit different way. Instead of job tracker, here I am having a guy called as resource manager. Okay, the same functionality happens here also. Resource manager talks with node manager and node manager. But here the job tracker plus, so it's like as soon as a new program is submitted, the resource manager looks at the kind of program. And so let's say the submitted program was MapReduce. The resource manager will say that, okay, the submitted program was a MapReduce program and it is going to be done by MapReduce framework. Or else, if that's not the case, if the resource manager is going to get some other program, the resource manager, or maybe some MPP program, the resource manager will just initialize the MR App Master, which is just like one technical lead, which is going to act like a job tracker who will understand their kind of programs. It's not MapReduce, right? It will understand some other kind of program. So resource manager is like a kind of daemon. He will say that, okay, come on guys, I got a new assignment on MapReduce, and sorry, I got a new assignment on MPP, so give me some 40 slots and I will complete the job. He says that, okay, it's an MPP program, I'm going to give you these slots, run it and finish it. And again, after some time, he will submit another program that is a program written or can be understood by Apache Giraffe. So he will say that, okay, give me some 60 slots such that I can process this Apache Giraffe program. So that's how it happens. So this resource manager is the guy who can understand all kinds of programs or all kinds of frameworks. So it's nothing but instead of a technical manager like a job tracker, a resource manager will come such that it can share between different frameworks. So any questions on this? This is what my Jan talks about. with everyone. I hope that I didn't go faster today, as these were simple topics. I tried to cover some good amount of theory today. So all good, guys. Can we meet in our next class for our next topics? So hopefully in our next class I will talk about schedulers first. So that is one of the big topic, and after that I think there are very small topics, and with that we can wind up the MapReduce and start talking about pig. Yes, it will be your Monday night. So it's, yes, your Monday night. Okay. Thank you all for joining. Let's meet in our next class and happy weekend. Okay.
H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, visit us at h2kinfosys.com.